In life, we go through things not as punishment, but to learn lessons so that we can help others. That's our whole point of being on this planet, is to help others become their best self. But first, we have to become our own best self. You have to change you in order to change the world around you. And once you change you, the world around you starts to change too. If you don't like the way the world is around you right now, you have to change you. And I'm talking change you all the way down to the molecular level. You have to change everything about you. You have to change the way that you look at everything. And if you still keep blaming the world on everybody else, trust me, if you change you, you will start noticing that other people change their behavior towards you as well. Seriously. This is the way that it works. I have undergone this journey for many, many, many years and had basically given up on it. Now, hey, God told me, He said, look, He said, I kind of had to keep you hidden for a while. And I said, okay. And anyway, God told me, He said, now is the time to start putting it all into practice. Well, anyway, I'd always picked up these little tidbits of knowledge through the years, a little bit here and a little bit there. Well, one day, God took all of it and He said, here you go. And all the pieces fit into place. And God told me, He said, now you're going to share how you did it with others and help them become their best version of themselves. Okay? And that's what I did. When God tells me to do something, I just do it. I don't ask, well, how is this going to work? I just do it. Used to, if it didn't make sense to me, I didn't do it. Now, I just do it. Because it's not meant to make sense to us. I understand God's sitting outside of things. But He's actually inside everything, but He can see all of everything at once. Okay, so I understand that when God gives you a little intuitive nudge to do something, that little intuitive nudge, you may not see the impact right firsthand that little nudge has. I understand that, you may be influencing somebody that needs to influence somebody else that influences somebody else and makes that person have a decent day instead of a bad day. Okay? And prevent something from happening. You don't understand, and trust me, whenever you start seeing some of the uh, chain reaction that occurs, yeah, that's when you start understanding how things work. When you start seeing the kind of the degrees of separation there are, and you realize that there are no degrees of separation. We're all interconnected. Whether you want to be or not, we all are interconnected. Okay? That's why whenever I say you have to change you to change the world, once you change you, then the world around you begins to change. Changing you is the key. Changing you, because changing you is the only thing you can change. And it's the only thing you need to change. Once you change you, it's easy from there. And it's not easy. But things begin to change. And once things begin to change, then you start seeing a little evidence, and supporting where you're going, and you're like, hey, this really does work. So, and we all want to see immediate results. Understand, sometimes it's going to take a while to start getting results. Understand that it takes time to learn these things, and everything that you think you know, you have to take everything you think you know and toss it out the window. That's what I did. I started over. Basically, started over with me and God and rebuilt. For a while, you've basically got to disregard every person in your life. Because, number one, you have to heal you. And if you want to help others heal after that, that's great. And if God leads you to help others, super. But you have to heal you first. You have to heal you to the core. You have to become the person that you've always wanted to become and knew you could become, but you have to become it right now. And once you become that, hey, life can get better then. And once life starts getting better for you, once you start vibrating at a higher frequency and life starts getting better, hey, that's when you start seeing the interconnectivity. That's when you start seeing that, hey, I'm happy and everybody else around me starts getting happier. It's kind of like you're kind of like, it's kind of like whenever your frequencies, everything's frequency and energy exchange. That's basically the whole thing. And like, as your frequency, as you go into higher frequency levels, and like, say, love and light are like the highest of the frequencies, okay? And while like anger and hate are the lowest of the low. And most people choose to live in anger and hate because that's what they know and that's what the world reinforces with them. See, if you keep people in a low vibrational state, they're easy to control. Boom. And when people are easy to control, that's what people want because then you can use them for your benefit, not for their benefit, but they can use them for their benefit, not for your benefit. Okay? And whenever people are utilizing you for their benefit, you're not getting the benefit out of it. So see, raise your vibration to the vibration of love and light and acceptance and just loving life and loving yourself, then life can get way better. But until you get to the point where you love you, life doesn't get much better. As long as you're down here in the hate and anger end of the scale, life just doesn't get better because you're putting the seeds you sow is the harvest you reap. Okay, so if you're planting seeds of anger and hate, guess what you get? You get everybody around you is angry and hateful because that's what you've told the universe you want. I'm angry and hateful, so I tell the universe and God, I want more anger and hate. Okay? So, you've got to plant good seeds to get a good harvest. And part of that harvest is, boom, doing this. You have got to improve you before you can improve anything else. Once you improve you, the rest of the world just kind of starts improving. Because number one, you realize that people, they're not intentionally acting the way they do. They don't know any better. And you can also say, instead of hating people, you can say, they just really don't know any better. And you can have some empathy for others then and say, they just don't understand. That's how you can then forgive people. So you're not hanging on to anger and hate. That's how you can move from anger and hate to love and light. Okay? And that's what my channel is about. I'm here to help you move from anger and hate to love and light, where you can learn to love yourself and love God. Okay? And God's everywhere all the time. Anytime you need to talk to God, you can talk to God. Now, sometimes it may take you a while to learn how to talk to God and to learn the signs. Like God gives you signs, and you'll learn those signs. And I'm here to help you learn those signs. I'm here to help you become a better version of you. Because the only way this planet's going to get better is if we each one improve ourselves. And it's not going to be by telling people how they're going to feel and how they're going to, you just tell. No, that shit don't work. Okay? You have to learn that it only changes. The only part of the world that I can control is me. And once I have control of me, then the rest of the world kind of falls into place. So anyway, I love you. God loves you. Peace.